when we started YTB, we'd been in business together for, like I said, 20 years. And we were making money, having fun on a personal level, but we weren't having much fun in business anymore. And we were looking for something else to do. And I was looking for something to do on the internet, quite frankly.
I really was burnt out on network marketing. We'd had success. I left that company in '93. Went on and did some things that were non-network marketing, and we maintained the relationship. We're best friends between Dad, my brother, and myself. We got together, always played cards, and just have fun. Enjoyed that. And even though I wasn't in the business, we still talked, and they talked. We talked about my business, and in that process, we kind of do the mental exercise of if we ever had a company, what would we want it to look like?
And we'd look up the river. And we'd see 15 miles up the Mississippi, and it just was something about it. It was just almost like, wow, this is big. And God made this thing. He sure can help us design and build a great company. And so we started talking about a company before we ever even had a company.
Not really planning on having it. This was just an exercise. And so we talked about compensation. How do you do things that would take care of the beginner, the person who's just getting started out, make it lucrative for them, and lucrative depending on what their definition was. Not everybody gets in our industry to make millions of dollars. A lot of people like me as a carpenter looking for an extra paycheck a month. $500, $1,000 is big time. So how do you have something that takes care of that group of people? Then how do you take care of the people who are out there building, the really ones kind of leading the charge? And then could you take care of the big time builders?
We asked the question to each other, and this was 5 years before YTB ever started. And we said, what would be a perfect compensation system?
We just, for exercise, said, let's just design one. And we did. And so then Kim ends up going down to Florida to see if there's anything to salvage from an investment that we had made.
We were thinking desks or computers or something like that. And I went down to Florida to look it over, and I got real intrigued with the concept of what this guy was trying to do. It was outside referring travel agents and home-based business, which we were very familiar with. He was approaching it through 800 numbers, though, and I felt if we could figure out how to take it to the internet with a Travelocity, Orbitz, Priceline type of a concept, and couple that up with a home-based business, that we could maybe hit a home run.
He said, I think this concept of travel, some people have tried it before, but if we could put the internet with it, I believe this might work. And at that point, kind of got our attention.
And when he came back with the idea of travel, I just thought I'd try something. And I went out and to the next 10 people that I saw, whether I knew them well, whether they were friends of mine or close or whatever, I said, look, answer this question. If you had all the time, all the money, and freedom to do whatever you wanted to do, what would you do more of? And the answer, 10 out of 10, travel. When I ask it to an audience of 100 people say, travel. When I ask it to an audience of 1,000 people say travel.
Most things we were doing before, people cross the street when they see you coming, the travel business is fun. There's tax advantages, in the travel business not available in any other business.
Now, you find out that travel is the biggest industry in the universe, the biggest industry on the planet. And now you have something everybody wants to do more of, that's the biggest industry on the planet, and we know how to make networking work, and we're making it work, selling fun and fortune, and turning fun into fortune. Wow.
And then Dad tricked me. The coach tricked me. He said, why don't you give us just, because I had sworn off, I'm never ever going to be involved in network marketing again. And he said, well, why don't you give us, a few hours a week, just kind of come over, let's just consult and let's think about it. Well, then, you do that and the juices start flowing, and next thing you know, everything else I was doing in my life was either non-existent or being phased out. And 2001, we started the company.
For the first 2 years, we did nothing but put infrastructure together and try to figure out how to pay people travel commissions and learn about the travel business and learn about online booking and all that type of thing. And about 4 years ago, we started recruiting and bringing people in, and it's growing like crazy.